Real estate is a tough job, but it didn't have to run on late night admin, manual research, and guesswork anymore. In this episode, we will use AI as a quiet assistant in the background, helping you prepare better brochures, smarter tour plans, school first home reports, and even a lease rate analysis for a shopping center. All practical, all from the real world of real estate agents. Let's jump in. Hello and namaste. Welcome to AI for All Global. I'm Prabhat. On this channel, we talk about real world Gen AI use cases and how to apply them in your day to day work. If you missed the earlier episodes, we have already covered real world AI use cases for administrative service managers and retail sales managers. Each episode adds a new occupation, and today we focus on real estate agents. We will walk through four concrete scenarios explaining your buyer representation services with a two-page brochure, planning a 2-day weekend tour with a printable list and map, building a school-first buyer report for an international family, pricing a vacant retail unit with a lease rate analysis. If that sounds useful, hit subscribe so you don't miss the rest of the series. Some ground rules. Here is how we will run this. For each use case, I will set up the scenario, show you a naive approach followed by most, explain why it underdelivers, and then improve it step by step. We will use ChatGPT as the AI of choice, but the patterns will work on most modern AI platforms. You will see me paste prompts, sometime also a little bit tweaking them if need be, and then explaining you the outcomes. All data in the demo is either dummy data or publicly available data. Your job after this session is to plug in your own market situation, your own buyers, and your own files. And finally, nothing here is legal, tax, or financial advice. Treat AI as a drafting assistant. You remain the professional and you stay responsible for the final work. Ready? Let's start with the use case one. This first workflow is about explaining your buyer representation agreement to your clients without overwhelming them. Consider you are Amstel makelaar, an aankoop makelaar, as we call it in Dutch, in Amstelveen, Netherlands. Amstelveen is the city. In 2 weeks, you are meeting an international couple buying in the Netherlands for the first time. Under NVM rules and your office policy, you only truly represent them after a written buyer agreement is signed. You want a brochure which explains that in plain English with necessary Dutch terms where needed. The challenge: handing over a contract alone feels heavy and legal. Buyers are thinking, what am I signing? What do I get? You also need to mix Dutch concepts like NVM purchase agreements with clear English, and everything has to fit on a simple couple of pages brochure that's actually readable. If you are very new to AI and you just want to make use of it, and you just say that make a brochure about my buyer services, the model has to guess everything. It does not know we are in the Netherlands. Perhaps it knows from your memory, but that's not enough. It did not know we need a two-pager. It didn't know double-sided layout. It didn't know which phases of the buyer journey to emphasize. The result is usually a wall of text, generic promises, and nothing that helps an anxious international first-time buyer feel confident. If you follow that path, then there's a lot of rework you do. In the end, it gives you some text, some guidance. It's still useful, but you're gonna do a lot of work on top of it. So to fix that challenge and generate something that you can really use, it should fit your need. We plug in the 7 beats prompting strategy that we always say in all our sessions. We define the role very clearly that this is an NVM affiliated Aankoop makelaar in Amstelveen. We add context that we are writing it for international buyers who are first timers worried about both process and financing. We set the task and deliverables that we want you to generate a 2-page brochure which shall have right headings and right layout suggestions. We also highlight some of the other requirements that fits our need, like mention critical Dutch concepts. Then we also give some source. For example, 132 things an agent does is a very popular list. So let's say we give that one as a reference. Uh, so with that, we evolve our prompt. Let's have a look at it. What does our prompt look like after this evolution? So what you see here is our real world AI workflow portal where we are maintaining 25 plus use cases, occupations, and for each occupation we have a vast list of use cases that we are covering. Let's focus on real estate today, our target, and we are talking about real estate brokers, real estate sales agents actually, and let's have a look at it. So this is our prompt that look like. I'll not explain a lot right away. Let's first trigger it. Let's get that started. I hope it is big enough. And then I trigger this command. Let's go back because it's gonna take some time. So as I stated earlier, we defined the role, we gave the context, we gave the many other information. We also gave some reference sources that you look at this specific guidance on 132 things realtors do. And then we also guide on what exactly we want to get created. And let's see what comes out. It's gonna take some time, so I'll pause the video. Okay, so our result has come. Let's see what it shows. Let's zoom a bit for you. It looks nice with Amstel Makelaar, your buyer's agent in Amstelveen. Independent guidance for international first-time buyers in the Netherlands. Bring your first home in Netherlands is exciting, and it goes towards it. And then it starts saying, and then a very simple word. I like it the way it has kept it. And then the way we had defined 5 steps, 5 categories, it has gone towards buyer consultation and engagement phase when what we do as agent home search and viewing. The second category, then the pre-offer preparation, then offer and negotiation phase, and then the accepted offer to notary transfer. That's wonderful. So there's still some gaps that you see, some special characters, and I see this one line has gone on the third page. So these are the kind of things that also can be tweaked, but I don't bother about these things often because this document is already 90% ready for me. All I need is putting my logo and doing those small fixes, and I'm almost done. And for the demos, I use PDFs, but it's very handy to make use of Word docs for editing, because then you can edit very easily. PDFs are very nice because they can open in Chrome. Okay, to summarize, we turned a long, overwhelming list of agent tasks into a focused 2-page brochure that uses a clear milestone structure, speaks to international buyers in plain English, introduces Dutch legal terms without scaring people off. You can reuse the same pattern for listing, presentations, landlord pitch decks, and buyer checklist. Many things you can do on similar line. Okay. With that, let's move to the second one. In this scenario, your buyers are only in town for one weekend. Once again, you are Amstel Makelaar, representing buyers in Amstelveen, and you need to pick less than 15 homes that match their criteria: single family, 4 to 6 bedrooms, at least 2 bathrooms, under 1.5 million, and then turn that into a clean tour pack with a map. Yes, with a map. So that will be nice. That's your task. The buyers fly in just for 2 days, and they trust that you have done all the homework, you have done all the studies, so that their time is maximally used. You need to search funda.nl and many other websites, filter the criteria, and then come up with neat 2 pages of PDF that you can share it with them. That should have some photos, some statistics, some notes, plus a simple map also, so that they can directly click there, or maybe find that location from there, and then they can visit together with you. So that's the challenge. The risk is overload, right? If you send 30 links to WhatsApp or any other means, it's not very handy. So you need to. That's why this whole concept of having it in a proper PDF is required, because that will avoid the zigzagging across the town to visit the places, and it will give the structure. Okay. So let's say if that is your requirement as a agent, how do you approach it? A simple make a list prompt gives you raw data at best, right? So you are enthusiastic, you want to make use of AI. You went to AI and said that, hey, I have a client coming, give me a list of 15 properties. You don't gonna get what you're looking for. So because that did not give a thought about in what format to print, where to look for these things, what is why it's important, what are the stakes involved, and many other information that it didn't have. So how do we approach it? How do we solve it? Let's follow our 7-beat pattern once again. We define the assistant's role clearly and tell it this is about a 2-day tour, not a generic search. So that creates the boundary that you have only 2 days for that person to visit. So we specify the output, that a table for print and a list that works for map tools. Okay. We lock down the maximum number of homes and the exact columns. So what all do we need in that list? We give it a process that first look at the data, clean up on these factors, then do some grouping, apply some filters, and almost like a data analytics, right? You guide it through, and then you come up with the final prompt, uh, and see how it works. So let's have a look at our prompt. Okay, let's go back to the other screen here. Okay, we go to our second use case for today, weekend tour. So date is very important. We did not talk about date there, right? So we give the date. We say that you are a real estate agent. Select homes to show them in, perhaps it's a little bit smaller. I make it big. So it gives the information about the date range, and it says the buyers are only in town for 2 days, so limit the search to less than 15 homes. It also gives criteria that it shall be single family house, active, not pending or coming soon, 4 to 6 bedroom, XYZ. And then it also gives where to look for, and then it let it work. Okay, let's see what outcome this prompt generates. Okay. Okay, by the time it runs, I pause the video. Okay, so our result has come. Let's see. Let's zoom it a bit. Okay, it's nicely placed. I like it. Although I do not see the address, the picture, which we had also asked for, but it has nicely captured the status, the type, the price, the list date. List date is empty in this case. The beds, the bath, and a lot of other information. And it has also captured photo URL. So what is happening nowadays? A lot of websites are blocking AI agents to scrape information from there, especially the images and all. So this could be one of the reasons why it is not able to show, but it was smart enough to use the link in that case, the web link of the images. So which is nice, it helps. So this is our ready to use list, and I really like it. 2 pages, interesting. Let's go and see the other document very quickly, where we had asked to give us a map of location of the houses in a semantic map. Let's do a bit of zoom, and you see relative north-south view and east-west view. So all these properties are mapped. So this house is the most west of the Amstelveen, northwest of the Amstelveen, and this house is south. I believe the south. It could be the other way around. But anyways, you get the message, what it tries to show. So with that, in a few minutes, we moved from scattered links to a curated 2-day tour pack. That's the takeaway. With that, let's move to our third use case, which is school first report. Here we flip the typical approach. Instead of starting with listings, we start with schools. Okay, you are advising a family with 3 young children and moving to Amsterdam region, and their top priority is picking the right international school. I've been there, so I recognize it's a very common use case for a lot of immigrants. And the brief: So it's sometime in 2025, and your clients care more about the schools. They have 3 young children. They are looking for owner-occupied home under 1.5 million, close enough to 4 specific international schools. And you need to create a mini report per school, that what are the houses next to it, what some facts and other information to help the client. That's the challenge. Then this research, this workflow is very research heavy, right? You have to pull from various websites, and you need to also go to the housing websites like Funda and Perarius. If you are not careful, each school ends up with a differently structured outcome and making comparison very hard. So we want a repeatable template so that every school page or every school related houses look exactly the same, uh, in same pattern. A naive prompt or naive approach could be a vague prompt that give me a list for all these schools, something like that. But that always produce, especially in this case, as for sure it provides produces outcome like an essay. You might get long paragraphs, a lot of information, but no consistency that you can make use of it immediately. Uh, and consistency is everything in such data analysis use cases. Okay. So we will follow our seven beat prompting technique. We tell the model exactly how to structure each school page. We define standard fields, curriculum, language, tuition, enrollment, accreditation, and even a short parent sentiment line. Then we add a second block under each school, a short list of nearby homes with the same fields across all 4 schools. Finally, we instruct to normalize the fields and add a short commentary so the buyers understand trade-off. So that's the challenge. That's the task that we need to do. Let's have a look at our refined prompt. What does it look like? I switch my screen. Okay. School first buyer report, and what you see here is the prompt, quite extensive prompt with all kind of information. And the 4 schools in talk are Amity International, AICS Amsterdam International Community School, Gifted Minds International School, International School of Amsterdam. It is very popular, all 4 schools among the expats and immigrants. And there's a lot of websites mentioned, and for some of them, website is not mentioned. For example, Amity International and these schools, there's no website mentioned, but it has to figure it out, right? So let's see how it works. And don't worry about these prompts. Well, these prompts will be available to you through our course page. So you just follow courses.aiforall.global, where we are keeping this course and all content related to it free of cost, accessible to you. You will find complete link in the description. Therefrom, you will be able to get these prompts and associated information. Okay, this is gonna take a while, so I will pause the video and I'll get back once it is done. You see, it's already doing a lot of analysis. First, it will do thinking and then do analysis. Then it will come up with an answer. Okay, so we have our result here. And do note, I make use of regular ChatGPT mode. If you enable the thinking mode, you get even better results. It may take some time, very long, but the results are much more higher in quality. Nevertheless, I got the reports the way I wanted for schools, and so let's try to have a look at a couple of them. For example, AICS. So it has come up with this location, the age for which it is relevant, and then language of instruction, enrollment, student-teacher ratio, indicative annual tuition fee, and notable accreditation. So some information around it, and then it has come up with houses nearby within our budget, approx living area, and some notes additionally. Cycle distance to AICS South, convenient for Juidas, and this is also very interesting, although this link did not work. Strange. And this is where our human eye comes into picture. Sometimes these things can falter, so you need to do the double check. In the interest of time, I will leave it for now, but usually it shall work. And if not, then you can also ask to regenerate this information. Now let's look at Gifted Minds International. They're also in the same pattern. You got all the outcomes, and then you have got some properties. And let's see the link. What do you get? It works here. Proper areas. So could be something wrong with that earlier one. Fine. So we'll not go into all of these. Basically, the point is you get the essence of the use case, that you can really do sophisticated analysis, okay, uh, with uh, with the help of AI, okay, uh, and that can save you a lot of work, a lot of real work that you put to do these kind of things, okay. To sum up, in the output, each school page looks consistent. A short summary at the top, a table of key facts, then a bulleted list of 3 to 6 nearby homes with links. In a single workflow, you give your buyers a way to compare schools and homes together, not in separate tabs, not on separate websites. With that, let's move on to our use case 4, that is lease rate analysis. Finally, a commercial example. You are a commercial real estate agent in the Miami Gardens area. A 2,000 plus square foot retail suite has gone vacant in a multi tenant shopping center, and the landlord wants a data driven rent recommendation. You have been hired as the exclusive leasing broker. The landlord isn't sure what asking rent will attract the right tenants without leaving money on the table. Your job is to assemble a short lease rate analysis, including a comparables table and a clear recommended rent range per square foot. This work is part data analysis, part science, part storytelling. You will pull possible comparables from platforms like uh, LoopNet or Crexy, but not every listing is truly comparable. Some are older, some are different, some include NNN charges differently. You need a clean table plus a narrative that explains why your recommended range makes sense. Having a vague prompt like lookup range or create a narrative document doesn't help. Such kind of engagements require really professional report. Uh, so we must use AI, but we need to use AI with all the controls. We need to provide our own comparables and provide a proper structure for the outcome. That's how we must make use of it to make it professional and usable for such use cases. So let's look at it with our 7-bit prompting technique. How do we make it nicer? We explicitly say, first of all, you are not allowed to invent comparables. We give the model the subject property info, the template structure, and the comparables, all of it. We'll look at all these documents in a bit. So that will help as input. Okay, we do not want model to go out and find out some weird stuff. The AI shall be focusing on organizing those into a market range survey, then writes a narrative recommendation section with a clear range and justification. So with that, let's have a look at how our prompt will look like. Okay. Here is the prompt, which has a very clear definition of role, that what you are. Then it has some context what work you're gonna do. You need to help the landlord, who is unsure about the rate. Then we talk about the task here. Then we talk about some more information about the templates that are provided here, the template and other information that's provided to it. Lease rate analysis report that's also provided to it for comparables. And then we talk about that you need to create a document with two major information, and that major information is market rent surveys. Identify 3 to 6 comparable retail space within a 3-mile radius from subject property as far back as 3 years, so address and asking rate. So we do provide in unstructured format the comparables, and the ask is that AI shall turn it into narrative. Okay, and based on that narrative, it shall also come up with the rate recommendation. Okay, so it's really this use case is for narrative generation than a lot on data analysis. It has the part of data analysis for narrative generation. Okay, so let's have a look at these documents that will help sharpen the use case. So the first document is lease comparables. That's one of the input document, and what you see here is that comparables is already gathered through various means, and it says that 5 deals in last 23 months. Is it month? Average month? No, it's average months on market. It's basically it tries to show that there are 5 deals that we can make use of for this property baselining and to compare things. And they also say that where are those property 3 is here, 5 is here, 2 is here on the border 4 in this 3 kilometer range. Then it tries to highlight that what is the asking rate per square feet and what was the starting rent per square feet. So try to give a lot of information from NNN and then goes specific for those 5 properties that are identified as comparables for this specific use case. So this special agent, the exclusive leasing agent, he has gathered this information beforehand. Okay. In addition, he has also gathered some information about the property itself. This is the property, and the property is spread across 8,400 square feet and many other information that what is the asking rate, parking space is there or not, frontage is there or not, land area is how much, available space is how much, transportation, how easy it is to reach to that place, and the tenants, which are tenants are there in this space. Okay. So all this information is provided. In addition, there's another thing is provided is a Word document, and let's have a look at the Word document. So this is the Word document, and basically what it says is, this is my typical narrative generation. You use this template to generate your narrative. Okay. Well, whenever you are working with the larger organization or larger these high impact use cases, you do not want AI to come up with its own template. You want to have a proper guidance and proper boundaries. So this is such template that's created. Okay. Now with that, we need to ask AI to generate an outcome, and what we're gonna do is have a new chat, and I copied the prompt. I think, yeah, is it the prompt? Yes, I did copy the prompt. Let's bring the documents that we need to provide. And there are 3 documents. We attach it here. Lease comparables, subject property info, and the lease rate analysis template. I upload 3 of them, and we wait for the outcome. Okay, and I will pause because this may take a while. It needs to read 3 documents, it needs to analyze, and it will also look at various websites, and then it has to draft the outcome and come up with the response. So it's good that I pause. Oops, that was fast. Wow, I'm impressed. Let's have a look what comes out. So it came up with lease rate analysis and rent recommendation, shopping center, location, address, vacant shoot size. It's also good to parallelly have a look at our template. Did it had those 4? Yeah, it also has 4 of these things. Then market rent survey. Here in a proper way, address, the 4 comparables that were identified, the size and the NNN value. Let's have a look on the template here. Indeed, here also you see very similar format. Then the lease rate recommendation, recommended asking price and other information, and see what it comes up with. Market the comparable rent data for similar retail space within a 3-mile radius of the subject property shows a range between $25 and $35 per square feet, and then over the past 3 years. The average asking rent is approximately $30-32. Given the subject property is strong visibility and it is reasonable to position the suit competitively with the upper segment of the range. And so with that, it is giving the recommendation. And here so this was the narrative, why this direction it is going, and there is the actual recommendation. Okay. We also look at the document. Here was the document. It had the recommended range, aggressive, market aligned, and premium, and justification. Aggressive pricing, market aligned, and premium positioning. Okay. So it comes up with the outcome. Although it has 4th bullet, while the template had the 3 bullets only, it has split the narrative in separate part. Okay. We can tweak a bit to also ensure that it does not do these kind of misadventures, and that's very important when you're working for important businesses. And I just realized that my screen was not zoom enough, so I will just scroll through, and hopefully you still able to make sense of it. With that, let's try to summarize. So, guys, in a few steps, we went from scattered listing screenshots to a landlord ready lease rate analysis. The key was we supply the data and the templates, and AI supplies the a structured outcome and draft narrative. That's how we keep control while gaining speed. Wrap up. We have just turned 4 real estate workflows into repeatable AI patterns. None of this is about replacing the agent, it's about reclaiming your time and raising the quality of what your clients see. You might be thinking, will this sound too generic? Or can AI really know my market? The answer is it only becomes generic when we don't give it context, when we don't give a structure, when we don't provide our local data. When you add your own comparables, your own school research, your own brand voice, that's when the output feels like you. So the mindset is simple: AI drafts, you edit, AI analyzes, you interpret, AI speeds you up, but you stay in control of the advice. If this episode gave you ideas for how to use AI with your buyers, your landlords, your team, consider subscribing and sharing it with another agent. You will find the full 7-bit prompt patterns and example wordings in the description so you can copy, paste, and adapt them to your own market. Thank you for watching and for investing in your own skills. I am Prabhat. See you in the next episode. Bye bye.